Hey guys, Houndoomed here, coming at you once again with another episode of Pokémon Black 2. On the last episode, we explored Route 22 and took on the third of the Musketeer Quartet, Terrakion, as well as also kind of traipsed into the Giant Chasm ever so slightly to check out the new Pokémon there, or at least some of them anyway. And on this episode, we're going to be heading south onto Route, I don't know what route this is, 21 I presume? But we're going to be heading to the Seaside Cave anyway. Hieroglyph's fine. So, yeah, Route 21. Okay, cool. So there are quite a lot of swimmers on this route. Yeah, this isn't going to be a very particularly good episode in terms of what's going to happen. She wasn't lying, her Pokemon is huge. But, yeah, I mean, I did say I was going to do some training on the last episode. I have, however, not done so. Mainly because I don't want to feel very over-leveled in the next part of the game, because, I don't know, I like a challenge. So I'm going to leave it until after part 41. And then at that point, once I have my Magmar evolved, that's when I'll do my training. And so yeah. So yeah, this is basically going to be the final episode where it's not going to feel very kind of productive. We're just going to be going through a route and not really doing much else. We are going to have to go through Route 23 at some point after all the big main story, but I do feel like that's a little more productive because it's the final route in the game, and you know, I don't know, it's quite a big route as well. But yeah, essentially the next few episodes are going to be very kind of spoiler heavy. So if you don't, after this episode, if you don't wish to have any spoilers, if you haven't played the game yet and you're just kind of watching for the hell of it, I wouldn't recommend watching past this point. For anybody who's watching this in current time, you'll have noticed the fact that I have not uploaded any Emerald episodes in 11 weeks or something like that. I have brought this up in previous Black 2 episodes, but I cannot be bothered to do 8 reviews in one episode and then do another 10 2 episodes later, so at the moment I'm thinking I'm going to put Emerald on hold, and then as soon as that's on hold, I'm going to start the LP that I plan to do after Emerald. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to decide by Tuesday, as that's when I should be uploading an Emerald episode, but that's not going to happen. So once I've done that, we will see. We will see what happens, but Black 2 is still going strong. Obviously I haven't necessarily been keeping to my upload schedule, which is why I've taken it off my about section, because I just can't keep to it at the moment. I have too many things happening, and also I'm a bit lazy, so you know. But I'm going to try and do things a bit better. But anyway, as you would expect, there are a lot of different water type Pokemon on this route. That hurt. Go for another Renji Ball. So yeah, I mean, this is quite a boring episode, to be honest. Didn't fancy doing this episode for a while, but I did it anyway because I want to feel productive today. Krusty, you can go up front. It is fine. Right, so let's see what else we have. Another trainer. Ugh, and another wild Pokemon. Do I have any repels? I don't remember if I ever bought them. I freaking hope I did, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. Come on. You were... Okay, fine, whatever. Not even going to ask. You see this enormous puddle? They call it an ocean. What? Whoever calls the ocean a puddle? Oh dear, Kyle. I don't know about anybody else, but whenever I see the name Kyle, it just reminds me of Herbert from Family Guy. I don't know why, it just always does. Just, hi Kyle. Oh, I had a friend who was called Kyle, and I always used to say that to him. Oh dear. Anyway, moving swiftly on. 2 Wingulls, great. Alright Blu-ray, this one's yours. You really could do with Hidden Power Grass. You really could. Although at this point I don't know if it's worth putting it on you. Because it's quite a lot of battle points to have to get for a move that's going to be possibly 30 power, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm seeing a lot lately, so... Okay, what do we have? What do we have? A big pearl. How useless, really? You can sell that to the guy who adores his ore in Osiris City later on, and get yourself a nice wad of cash for that. Hello, hello. Hiya! Hiya! I'm practicing my punching technique in front of the sea. Give it a try. Well, if I give it a try, I'm going to be punching you in the stomach. Is that something you like? So, oh, hello, Crustal. I am leading with the wrong Pokemon here. Actually, no, I'm not. I didn't switch. Okay, that's fine. Alright, Krusty, let's do this. Rock Slide. And a Rock Slide back. Did about the same both sides, really. Oh well, I'm faster, so bye, Crustal. Hiya! Hiya! I won't stop punching just because I lost. Well, good. That's the right attitude there. Alright, Blu-ray, you're the only one who isn't 46, so head up to the front. Oops, wasn't far forward enough. Okay, now, back the way we came. And over here is the Seaside Cave. A couple more trainers to fight though, like this doctor here. Oh, actually, oh god, I think this guy has an Alamomola. Doesn't he? Yeah, oh great. I sense a lot of wishing going on. Stupid Alamomola. I hate these things so much. They're so useful in competitive play, but to fight them in game without like a good special grass or electric type move is just dire to have to kill these things. So what else? I haven't really talked about this very much. Oh, that's annoying as well. I got Pokemon Y last week, and I've been kind of playing that. And it's been just over a week, and I'm already very sick of it. I brought this up with a couple of people. I feel like this game is absolutely nowhere close to this one here, Black 2, because Black 2 actually has an after game. People have been telling me, oh yeah, but X and Y do have an after game, and it's like, well, no, they don't. They have an after game that is equivalent to Emeralds, which is just, well, I would say a couple of legendaries, but you can literally fight Zygarde, and that is it. And then you've got PP up there. You've got collecting the Mega Stones, fighting your rival once a day, and then you also get to fight the what's it called? Battle Maison, is it? Is it the Maison? Oh, I might be thinking of the other one. But it's just useless. I don't understand what the point of it is. It's like the only thing you can do is fight Zygarde, get all the Mega Stones, and then just train Pokemon. That's boring. Who wants to do that? I mean, it has no variety at all. I mean, a lot of people do like to train Pokemon, and they like to go competitive, and, you know, fine, whatever. But I just find constant breeding and constant going to the Friend Safari and constant training of Pokemon to get a little samey after a while. It just gets really boring. At least in Black 2 and White 2 you have like a lot of trainers to fight, you have lots of different areas you can go to, you have lots and lots of legendaries to get. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It might be just me. I mean, I don't know. It's just my opinion of it. I mean, normally I prefer there to be like this massive after game where you can do loads of things, like in Platinum and in Black 2 and White 2 and in 2nd Gen, and to some extent 1st Gen as well. But well, particularly in the remakes, not so much in the first games. But I mean, you know, there's quite a lot of things you could do, whereas in X and Y you can just do nothing. I mean, at least in Emerald you had like all the different facilities, whereas it's very comparable to Ruby and Sapphire. In Ruby Sapphire you had you could fight Your respectable, respective rather, legendary dragon, Latios or Latias, you could fight Rayquaza, and then you could go to the battle tower, and that was it. You couldn't do anything else. You had contests, but you could do that before you beat the game. You had the Reggies, but you could do that before you beat the game. It's just, I don't know. As I said, it might just be me. I mean, it's a good game, but I feel like they definitely didn't want to kind of. One of my friends made the point that you don't necessarily want to make a game that's going to make all the rest of them kind of unsellable or obsolete, because, I mean, he's right, you don't necessarily want to make a perfect game the first time around on a new system, but at the same time you don't necessarily want to make a new game that isn't, like, it doesn't live up to standards. Like, for example, they went from the transition to Emerald to Diamond and Pearl really well. I feel like Diamond and Pearl were really, really good games, and with Ruby and Sapphire as well. Compared to Gold and Silver, Ruby and Sapphire were excellent games, and the same transition to Diamond and Pearl as well from Emerald. But I feel like the transition to X and Y was not anywhere near as good as it was to the others. And I don't mean like cross-generation, I mean like to a new actual system, because this one's obviously on the 3DS. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like the lack of good Pokemon, I mean, they created quite a lot of kind of interesting Pokemon, I guess. Like, some have kind of interesting abilities or what have you. And I feel like the lack of new Pokemon is kind of... they've kind of just used Mega Evolutions as an excuse. And I don't actually think that most of the... I think most of the Mega Evolutions are nowhere near as good as their original Pokemon. There are some Pokemon which are amazing in Mega. Some good examples would be, well, obviously the Mewtwo forms, but they're not necessarily that amazing. I mean, I'd probably say that Mewtwo X is better just because it has that extra type. But I mean, Mawile is amazing in Mega. It is the most powerful unboosted Pokemon of all time. I think it even beats out Deoxys attack in physical attack. So there's that. There's also, who's another good example? I'd say that Charizard X is quite good because it's picked up that Dragon type, and Fire Dragon is resisted by every Pokemon except 2, I think. Unless there's only and Azumarill. Who am I thinking of? There's Heatran, and then there's also Azumarill, because Fairy obviously resists, well, is immune to Dragon. Yeah, there's a couple of others, but I don't know. There are some really, really good Megas, but there are also some that are kind of, they slip behind. I think some prime examples would be Alakazam. Alakazam is an amazing Pokemon, but it loses Magic Guard. It loses its ability to even have an item. So it just it's outclassed by its original form. Anyway, so with all of my ramblings here, this is actually a new Pokemon you can find in the Seaside Cave, which is Seal. It's not particularly good. I mean, the fact that you find it so late in the game is a bit silly. I mean, I don't know why they kept it so long. But yeah, it will get covered at the end of the episode, because there's not much point in me covering it here. But yeah, just to let you know in all of my ramblings that it's there. I'm going to put Hieroglyph up to the front here because of this fighting guy. Hello, hello. The path of karate is the path of humanity, and the path of Pokemon. Is it now? Well, how interesting. See, I mean, I think I have had this as a common question before. I think it was on Emerald, but I am going to bring it up again and ask you guys what you think of the Mega Evolutions. Like, who do you think are the great ones, and who do you think are the kind of lousy ones? I mean, to me, I think that Alakazam is one of the lousy ones. I mean, it's good, don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic Pokemon, stat-wise particularly, but it's outclassed by its regular form. It's a bit silly to me. I also don't think that Venusaur is that great either, because Chlorophyll Venusaur is amazing, whereas that is a bit kind of... it is good, but I mean, Thick Fat is kind of... I mean, it obviously makes it lose 2 of its weaknesses, which is massive for it. But it also means that it loses out on chlorophyll, and I think chlorophyll was what gave it its niche in 5th gen anyway. So I don't know. Who else is there? Absol is another good one. Absol obviously is essentially been given stats where it needs them, particularly the speed. The special attack is useful because of its massive special move pool, but obviously flick that thing and it's going to die, so I don't know. I also find it's kind of strange how there are absolutely no Mega Evolutions for 5th and 6th generation Pokemon. I don't know why that is. Maybe they had a reason for it, but I may have missed that. I don't know. It just seems a bit weird the way that they didn't include any. But hey. So yeah, just let me know what you guys think. I mean, to me, the best ones are definitely Mawile. Mawile's up there. Kangaskhan is another good one. Absol is another good one. I think Houndoom is quite good. I reckon Houndoom could have some good niches on Sun teams with its ability to kind of nasty plot all over the place and then just go crazy because it's pretty fast. Just trying to think of what other ones there are. I think Tyranitar is another good one. Obviously with its massive defences, and I think it still has Soundstream, which is another good thing for it. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like there are some good ones. There are some diamonds in the rough, but I feel like some of them are outclassed by other Pokemon or just themselves, but in regular form. Oh, an electric. Interesting. Speaking of electric, electric and its other forms are actually the only Pokemon not to have weakness now. In 6th gen, Sableye and Spiritomb now have a weakness to Fairy, so he and she are the only Pokemon to not have a weakness now, which I think is kind of interesting. Especially since I actually love those Electros, and I didn't really think much of Spiritomb. It was cool, but I never really thought much of it. And I hated Sableye. I hated it in 3rd gen because I always preferred Mawile, and yet I didn't really ever play much of Ruby, and I always had Sapphire and Emerald, which kind of frustrated me. And then in 5th gen it was frustrating to face in competitive play, so yeah. I'm rambling a lot today. Just have a lot to talk about, I guess. I guess if you're watching this in the future, this doesn't really matter much at all, but hey, whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like they're good games, but they're not as good as they could have been. I do think that there were definitely some good Pokemon, like new Pokemon that were released. Greninja, everyone loves Greninja. Aegislash, Talonflame, another good one. There are some good, really good Pokemon in there, whereas some of them are just a bit rubbish, really. Like the new 2 main legendaries, Xerneas and Yveltal, they're amazing. No questions asked. They are amazing. So TM6 for Toxic here, but you must have Strength to get it, as well as also Surf, but you need Surf to get through here, so that's a bit of a non-issue. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the 2 new main legendaries, Yveltal and Xerneas, are amazing. No questions asked. Hands down, they're amazing Pokemon, amazing stats, amazing typings, but not so much for Yveltal. Being weak to Stealth Rock is not a good thing. But Zygarde is a bit pointless. It may just be me. Who thinks this. But Zygarde doesn't really seem to have a purpose. It seems like it should be a defensive Pokemon, but who really in their right mind has a defensive Dragon type that isn't Dragonite? Dragonite kind of can be a bulky tank, like a really good offensive tank, particularly specially defensive, but However, the only other dragon type that's defensive is Altaria, and Altaria sucks. Like, it's good if you use it right, but compared to the other dragon types, it doesn't even stand a chance. It is just awful. And Zygarde has a pointless typing. It is quite weak to Ice, it's weak to Fairy, it's weak to Dragon. But it is completely outclassed by Garchomp. Like, Garchomp beats it in every single sense of the word. It has better speed, I think. It has better attack. It has a better move pool. It has a Mega Evolution as well. It doesn't really need one, but it has one. It's just pointless to me. What was the point of them creating a Pokemon like that? Why not have an interesting typing or something, like Fairy Dragon or something? I mean, that would have been interesting to have. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so we're fighting a Lairon here, who's protecting Joy. So yeah, I mean, I haven't actually done that much talking to do with what's going on in this episode, really. But yeah, it's a bit of a boring, not much is happening episode, so just a load of trainers going through a water route and then a cave. Two most boring places in Pokemon games. I feel like regular routes are so much better. I mean, the only cave that's ever been any good is like Victory Road, because at least then you're nearing the main place in the game. I'm not going to fight that guy right now because I can't be bothered, because he is a hassle to fight. But if you wish to fight him, I think he has 5 Roggenrola, and Roggenrola, I'm not joking, 4 or 5, something like that, and then you can exit if you wish. To be honest, I would prefer to get to the Seaside Cave from Humalo City, so whatever. If you want to fight him and clear the way and be a completionist, fine. I'm normally a completionist, but if it means I don't have to fight him with his stupid sturdy Roggenrola all over the place, then so be it. I'm not going to fight him. It's like the Magikarp guy. If I know where he is, I'm not going to fight him. I don't care. I've gone completely the wrong way here. Have to go in a big round circle. I'm just going to see if I have any repels. Cannot be bothered fighting all of these Golduck. Right, so let's see. Do we have any repels? We do, 61 of them. It's a bit strange that I don't remember buying them, but anyway. Alright, so back round we go. And let's surf. What? I didn't even see that. Hello, Seal. I don't need you right now, especially at your pathetic level. Come on, go away. Thank you. Okay, so here we are. Now, oh, hello. Just a minute. There's a calcium here. I always know there's a calcium there. So Internet Explorer here wasn't lying. There is a site that is very similar to when we met him on Route 4. There's this big boulder standing here, and it's a Crustle. So feel free to catch this Crustle. I have heard stories that this Crustle has its hidden ability, but I've never actually seen any proof of that. I don't know if it is true. We could always test the theory out, but I don't really have a Pokemon that could one-shot it, except for what's his face, Blu-ray. But I don't really want to send it out against a Crustle, so see you later. So yeah, the Chorus machine will break, and we can now go outside. So we're back on Route 21, but oh, hello. This looks suspicious. Oh, hello, Hugh. Yeah, hey. You found them! I knew you could do it. Were you tailing me the entire time? But how do we get in? Hold up! A heavy gangplank fell with a solid thud. Oh, it's you. Yeah, this should do it. I thought you weren't going to fight Team Plasma. Hey friends, Team Plasma's not bothering me. They could be up to no good for reals, and it's not my style to go around deciding Team Plasma's bad without thinking about it just because everyone says so. But, you're having trouble, so I've got to help out. That's what I want to do. Thanks. Listen, Kay, believe in something. Searching for stolen Pokémon is fine. Keeping Unova from being iced over is fine too. It's all good, but think about why you're doing that. The strength of your beliefs is what gives you and your Pokémon power. I made some noise and so some people came out. Hey, be careful, Kay. Wow, you follow through with things, don't you? Jesus. What was that? That guy sure doesn't follow through. I just said that, yeah. Well, I guess he was being kind in his own way. Alright, I'm going in. Bye-bye. Alright, so we have some interesting things happening on the next episode. So we're going to visit the Plasma Frigate for the second time. Going to be our first time since just after the PWT. So it's been a while, but don't worry, this isn't going to be the last visit. But anyway, so this is pretty much it for this episode. We've got that Pokemon review for Seal and Dugong coming up, but apart from that, until the next time, I'll see you then, guys. The one new Pokemon you can find in the Seaside Cave is Seal. Seal is a water-type Pokemon and can have the abilities either Thick Fat or Hydration with Ice Body as a hidden ability. Can be found in the Seaside Cave as well as also the Giant Chasm while surfing in both, in Black 2 and White 2. And can be found in the Giant Chasm while surfing in Black and White 1. And when looking at Seal's stats, again there's absolutely nothing there that's anything spectacular, having kind of well-rounded stats, but also there's nothing particularly fantastic there. Its defences are decent though, especially as a water-type Pokemon. At level 34 it will evolve into Dugong, at which point it will pick up an Ice subtype. Dugong can be found in pretty much all the same places that Steel can. When looking at Dugong's stats, you can see that it's quite good defensively, having pretty damn good defensive stats. However, those are the kind of stats that would make it kind of a bulky attacker rather than an actual defensive Pokemon. But because of that, and also Dugong doesn't have very good attacking stats to begin with, having base 70, which is even worse than Swoobat, and Swoobat is disgraceful, unless it has a simple, of course. But Dugong also has picked up that Ice type. Now, defensively, Ice types are pathetic Pokemon. They have so many weaknesses, it's not even funny. As well as also that, it's also got to deal with those Grass and Electric type weaknesses. So Dugong has a huge amount of weaknesses that it has to worry about, and it can't really patch any of them up, especially considering its defenses aren't that great to begin with. It doesn't really learn anything that stands it out as a defensive Pokemon either. I don't think it has reliable recovery either. Obviously that's not anything special in game because you can just use Hyper Potions, but even so, yeah, Dugong is not as good as you'd want it to be. I love Dugong, but it's not anything fantastic. So I'm afraid Dugong's only going to be able to get, say, 1.5 stars. It's just not that great, especially when compared to other ice and water type Pokemon that you've seen throughout the game.